we're starting tonight in Richland County as the county is heading towards Election Day like we all are, with less leadership in their elections office and changes on the way.
We told you last week how the county's elections director, Alexandria Stevens, issued her resignation. Well, today it looked as if both the number 1, number 2, and number 3 in office were all gone. But a last-minute change means one of those people will stay to help navigate nearly 269,000 voters to the polls. News 19's Zoe Henry explains.
On Tuesday, the Richland County Legislative Delegation met to discuss the state of the Richland County Board of Elections after the recent resignation of Director Alexandria Stevens. But shortly after the meeting started, Deputy Director Terry Graham said he was leaving as well, as was the precinct director. That would have meant no one in the top leadership positions in the agency with 77 days to go before the election.
It's a lot of moving parts from today up till those points.
This initially left the delegation to start from scratch for a new director just 77 days from the November 8th election. Graham said there would have been no one left in the office to run the November election. With so much work needed in the weeks ahead, the delegation held an executive session with Richland County board members who were present. After 20 minutes behind closed doors, Graham agreed to stay through the election.
I know I submitted my resignation on yesterday, but I'm rescinding my resignation to stay on as the deputy director until the first of the year, January.
Representative Leon Howard, chairman of the delegation, says the board encouraged the decision.
And he was encouraged to rescind his resignation, and which he did. And the delegation has pledged our full support to Mr. Graham to make this election process very successful.
The legislative delegation appoints the Elections Commission, who in turn hires the elections director. No members of that group were at today's meeting. News 19 reached out for comment from the commission's chair, but did not hear back. State Representative Annie McDaniel also was not in attendance today, but she says personnel matters are not the delegation's responsibility.
The governing body is just that, the governing body. And as I understand our authority, we do appoint the members of the election commission, and it's their responsibility to hire a director.
While Graham is staying, there's still gaps in leadership, including the person who's in charge of securing poll workers. In Columbia, Zoe Henry, News 19, WLTX.
Well, we could get more answers tomorrow into what the Election Commission plans to do. That's when the Richland County Board of Elections will hold a meeting at 5 p.m. to discuss personnel issues.
And over the past 3.5 years, the Richland County Election Office has seen 5 different board directors, 4 of which were all in the span of 1 year. So let's take a look back and remind you how we got here. Back in February of 2019, Roki Suleiman resigned after 1,000 votes went missing. But he continued to remain in the position until Governor McMaster signed an executive order firing him along with the rest of the board in May of 2019. Suleiman was replaced by Thad Hall. It wasn't until 2 months later in July that Hall would also resign. Terry Graham then served as an interim director. In March of 2020, the board elected Tammy Smith as director, but she later withdrew from accepting the job. Then in June, the board hired Alexandria Stevens as the new director, where she was in position for about 2 years until resigning last week. Now, Stevens' last day in office is next Monday, that is August 29th.
Also mentioned during the meeting today was a delay in paychecks for poll workers from the June runoff election. Terry Graham, the deputy director of Richland County's election office, says a staffing issue led to workers waiting months to get paid. Some still have not been paid as of this afternoon. News 19 checked in with poll workers today to get their thoughts on the pay delay. We're going to hear from them tonight on News 19 at 6. The general election in South Carolina is on November 8th. The biggest race on the ballot will be the race for governor. Current Governor Henry McMaster up against Democratic candidate Joe Cunningham. There's also a Labor Party and a Libertarian candidate. State House and Senate positions are also up for grabs. The state superintendent of education will also be chosen on November 8th.
Well, the deadline to register to vote is 30 days before an election. And since the general election, November 8th, the last day to register to vote, we'll do the math for you, is October 9th. And you can register online, very easy to do. I did it that way when I moved. You can register by mail, email, fax, or in person. For mail or email, you must download that voter registration form and then send in the completed version of your county board of, or to your county board of registration. For in-person, you do need to visit your county board of voters office, and there you will have to show ID, of course. For detailed information on how to register, you can visit the South Carolina Elections Commission website. If you prefer not to wait in line on Election Day, you can always take part in early voting. The early voting period is going to begin Monday, October 24th, and it will close on Saturday, November 5th. You can visit an early voting center Monday through Saturday anytime between 8:30 in the morning and then 6 at night. To find a voting location near you, you can look at the State Election Commission website.